everyone, I am the Dragon Skull and welcome to another year review. You guys really liked the 2018 year review I did last year, so I decided to do another one. And I think this is going to be a new series on the channel now, where every year on the last day of the year before the next one comes up, I talk about what I consider to be the best and the worst of that year. I did the same thing with 2018. So I'm going to be doing the same again with 2019. A lot has happened in this year. Some were good, some were bad, but and that's why I'm here, to talk about all that stuff. Where to begin? I think it's safe to say we should start with movies, because there were a lot of good movies released this year, like in 2018. And just this month, I've seen 3 movies that came out in cinema. I guess the first one I should talk about is Frozen 2, the sequel to Frozen, obviously. It was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I won't go into spoilers, as for those of you who haven't seen it, so don't worry about it. This will be a spoiler-free video, so I won't ruin the ending. All I'll say about it is, well, Frozen 2 was a good movie. I don't know if it's as good as the first one, but it definitely was a good sequel. Oh, so it doesn't surprise me with what they came up with. The songs in them were pretty good. Not as catchy or memorable as Let It Go was, but still good nonetheless. And there were some interesting things in the movie, which, again, I won't spoil, but there was a certain moment in the movie that I thought was pretty good, and I can't tell you about it because spoilers, again. I know I keep repeating myself, Morgan. It's a force of habit. And next I should talk about Jumanji: The Next Level, the sequel to the Jumanji remake / sequel with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it. Of all the movies I was expecting to come out, a second Jumanji, a third Jumanji technically, was not what I was expecting. I mean, the first Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, with The Rock, Kevin Hart, Karen and Gillan, and Jack Black, it was an amazing movie. Seeing all 4 of my favourite actors come together in one movie, it was really fun to watch. And I like how the Jumanji game went from a board game with Robin Williams in the original to a video game with those actors I mentioned as playable characters. It was fun. It was a really fun journey to watch. And after, well, again, I won't spoil it, but after what happened at the end of that movie, I thought, there's probably not going to be another Jumanji after that. And when you know it, another Jumanji came out. Jumanji: The Next Level. Is it as good as the first one? I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. It was so much fun to watch. I was expecting it to be bad, though, because the first one with The Rock ended really good, and I felt like a second one wasn't necessary. But after watching it, I was like, hey, no, we needed this film. It was good. It was so action-packed, and I liked that it was placed in a different environment instead of the jungle area like in the first one. And the actors did an amazing job in it. Kevin Hart and Jack Black he's cracked me up. The Rock is awesome, and Karen Gillan was amazing as well as Ruby Roundhouse. It's amazing seeing Amy Pond and Nebula from the Avengers be in this movie again. She's had a hell of a career. They all have, all the actors. Good movie. Really enjoyed it. And I've also seen the new Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker. That was a movie I wasn't looking forward to seeing out of all of them. And I know you're thinking, why? It's Star Wars, it's awesome. And yes, I love Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. In fact, next year, my first Let's Play is going to be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I got for Christmas, and I cannot wait to play it. I heard really good things about it. But I'll get more into video games later. Right now, the topic is movies. But yeah, Star Wars Episode 9: The Rise of Skywalker. I wasn't looking excited for it. I mean, I did want to watch it anyway out of curiosity to see how the new sequel trilogy would end, and well, like The Last Jedi, it didn't meet my expectations. Oh, to be honest with you guys, and don't leave any hate, this is just my honest opinion, and I would ask you to respect it. I never liked this new Star Wars sequel trilogy to begin with. And hear me out. The reason why is because, well, the original trilogy was it ended so perfectly, and yeah, people don't like the prequel trilogy, but at least that trilogy had a reason to exist, and it was a great movie trilogy. In fact, the prequel trilogy of Star Wars is my favorite of them all because I grew up watching them first before the original. And Revenge of the Sith is still my most favorite Star Wars movie ever. The sequel trilogy, though, I wasn't that excited for, especially after watching The Last Jedi. I mean, when I saw the first Episode 7, The Force Awakens, I thought it was a good movie. Seeing, like, the remnants of the Empire coming together and creating a new version of the Empire called the First Order, and the Rebels coming back as the Resistance. I mean, I didn't like it, but it was cool to see some of that action again. But I felt like The Force Awakens copied a New Hope too much. You know, like in the beginning, BB-8 had a piece of a map to Luke Skywalker, like R2-D2 had the Death Star plans. They were they were hiding on a desert planet Jakku, just like in A New Hope, where they were hiding on Tatooine. Then the main character who was living on that said desert planet, travels across the stars and becomes a hero. So Rey, Luke Skywalker, you get the picture. It's too similar, and as for The Last Jedi, I felt like that movie dragged on too long with too many confusing moments. Like, why was this in it? I talked about The Last Jedi before in my 2018 review, so I won't go too much into it. But that movie, I didn't like that much. And there were certain moments I didn't enjoy either. Again, I won't go too much into detail because, well, some of you might not have seen it, and I've already talked about it in my 2018 review. We're talking about episode 9. Well, when I first saw the trailers for it, I was a little bit excited, I'm not going to deny that. Especially since, Palpatine or Darth Sidious makes a return, but it's not exactly in the way you guys we were all thinking. And again, I won't go into spoilers, but let's just say Palpatine's return wasn't what we were expecting, and I was disappointed because of it. But again, there were some good elements to the movie as well. Like the lightsaber battles were really fun, the environments were really awesome to look at, and the music was good as well. So John Williams' score is awesome, no matter what people say about the movie he does it in. And I also like how Kylo Ren fixes his mask and he starts wearing it again. Because in The Last Jedi, when he smashed the bits and decided not to wear it anymore, that annoyed me the most out of there. So I'm glad they fixed that. And I'm also glad we finally get to see the Knights of Ren that were mentioned in the other two movies, but they were never actually seen. Other than, well, a little flashback or / dream Rey had in The Force Awakens. And speaking of Rey, I still don't like her as a character. And for so long, I kept wondering why that is. Why don't I like her? Is it the actress who plays her? No, I like her actress. She did a really good job. She was good in other movies. Is it how her character was portrayed as a strong female character? I don't know. Well, I think I finally figured out why I don't like Rey's character. It's because of the direction they take her in. It's because, well, whenever I see her, I think of a knockoff female version of Luke Skywalker, and I just don't like that. And I also don't like how she's a Deus Ex Machina with plot armor. That's how I see her, because, well, she started off as just some scavenger girl who wants nothing to do with the Jedi and the Force. Then suddenly she has the Force and was able to beat Kylo Ren, who was trained to be a Force user since childhood in Luke's old Jedi Order on Endor. And the fact that Rey was able to resist Kylo Ren's force mind control, oh, it's just stupid. You can't just suddenly have the force and know how to use it without training. And yeah, she did some training in episode 8 with Luke, but it wasn't good enough training to be better than a Sith Lord. It just annoys me so much. They could have done so much with this. I mean, I don't have anything against strong female characters. I actually enjoy them, because there are several female characters I can think of who are good and strong. Like Mulan, for example. A strong woman who was able to defeat an entire Hun army by herself and became the Emperor's royal guard. That is how you do a strong female protagonist. Rey, however, I just don't see that in her. And some of the other characters I don't really like that much either. I mean, I like some, like Finn, and I like BB-8. They were cool characters. And of course, I adore Kylo Ren. He is awesome. And the fact that he got his mask again, it makes him an awesome character. I think the directors knew that the mask was what made him so beloved. And they were like, yeah, we kind of messed up by getting rid of it in episode 8. So let's bring it back again in episode 9. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all I should say about episode 9 without spoiling it too much. I just wanted to get my general thoughts about it. I feel like if I keep talking about it for too long, I might eventually accidentally spoil something for you guys. Alright. As for, other movies I've seen this year were Detective Pikachu and Godzilla King of the Monsters, which I have on DVD, actually, which I got for Christmas. Hang on, let me show you guys. There we go. Godzilla King of the Monsters and Pokemon Detective Pikachu. These were good movies as well. Some of the best I've seen. I really enjoyed these movies, and I really like them in the both. Let's talk about Godzilla first. Godzilla King of the Monsters is the sequel to the 2014 Godzilla movie with the Mutos, and it's in the same universe as Kong Skull Island as well. Oh, it's clear that they're trying to do like an MCU kind of thing with the monsters, and there's no problem with that. I'm down for that, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing another Godzilla movie where he and King Kong fight each other. That'd be awesome. The 2014 Godzilla movie, I liked it, but I wasn't that interested in it because there was a lot going on that confused me about the movie. But Godzilla King of the Monsters was awesome. Because not only do we get to see Godzilla kicking ass again, but we also get to see the other monsters as well, like Rodan and Mothra, and of course, King Ghidorah. And after watching the anime of Godzilla, and seeing how King Ghidorah was portrayed in that, I was disappointed. And at the same time relieved to see the actual King Ghidorah in Godzilla King of the Monsters. Because basically in the anime version of Godzilla, King Ghidorah was introduced as some sort of interdimensional alien monster who was immune to the laws of physics of our universe, and it just makes no sense at all. In Godzilla King of the Monsters, however, he is portrayed as he is supposed to be portrayed. A godlike a dragon with 3 heads who came to our world in hopes of ruling it and its monsters. And Godzilla has to fight him and prove himself to be the true king of monsters. And it was an awesome movie. Seeing Godzilla and King Ghidorah fight, and then having Mothra team up with Godzilla to fight Ghidorah, it was awesome. And seeing Rodan was pretty cool as well. Rodan was a monster I didn't know much about, other than it was like a giant fiery bird-like creature. And seeing its introduction was pretty cool. And the cast of the movie was amazing as well. Like Millie Bobby Brown, who plays Eleven in Stranger Things, was in it. She was playing as the daughter of the scientist, and she did an amazing job in that role. I'm really starting to like her, like the actress who plays her, especially for her role in Godzilla and her role in Stranger Things, which I've also recently watched this year as well. And I'm glad I got into Stranger Things because it was a great series. I was all like, where has this been my whole life? Why didn't I get into this sooner? It's just so damn good. Alright, now for Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Awesome Pokemon movie. That is how you do a live action adaptation of a popular anime slash cartoon show for kids. It is a really good movie, and all the Pokemon in the movie look good. Not a single one of them looks weird or out of place. Like, people keep comparing how live action Pikachu looks to compared to live action Sonic the Hedgehog from their trailers, since they both came out at the same time before their movies. And people always say that the Pikachu and the other Pokemon in that movie look way better than in live action form compared to how Sonic did. And yeah, they did fix Sonic's design, which I'm glad they did, making me excited for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie now. But well, when it comes to my review of 2020 in the near future, that's when I'll be talking about that movie. As for the story of Detective Pikachu, it's a pretty good one. It is confirmed to be canon with the Pokemon anime, because they do mention the Kanto region and Pokemon on matches and all that. And Mewtwo is in the movie, but you guys know that from the trailers. And they did confirm that they recaptured him after, well, the events of the Pokemon movie, where he escaped Team Rocket and tried to destroy the world. It was awesome seeing Mewtwo on the big screen again, and I'm so glad that they got his actual voice actor to voice him again, rather than have him voiced by a woman in some of the new Pokemon anime movies. That really bothered me. As for the story, it's a good story as well. Had a lot of good little twists and turns in it, and again the live action Pokemon looked really good. And for a movie that takes place in a city that had no Pokemon battles, it was still pretty interesting. Again, I won't go too much into the movie without revealing spoilers, but it was a good movie and I enjoyed it a lot. And I liked the casting as well, like with Ryan Reynolds voicing the Pikachu. It's so funny seeing Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu. Because whenever I hear Ryan Reynolds voicing that Pikachu, I imagine Deadpool. Because, well, it's hard not to think about him. Especially since several actors from Deadpool appear in the movie. Like the actor who plays Dopenda, the taxi driver in Deadpool, appears in Detective Pikachu as well. It was so funny. They have to have made a lot of Deadpool references that I might have missed. It was awesome, though. Again, if you haven't seen any of these movies, go check them out. They're really good. And finally, the last movie I want to talk about, which I saved the best for last, is probably the biggest and best movie I've ever seen, not just in 2019, but probably the whole world, for now at least. And that is Avengers Endgame. Yep, I got this for Christmas as well, and the moment I got this movie, I was so excited to watch it again after seeing it the first time in the cinema. By now, you guys know why I love this movie so much. Why wouldn't I love it? It was the most epic and most biggest Marvel movie ever released this year. After watching Avengers Infinity War, I was like, there's no way they can top that movie. And surprise, surprise, they did. And it was awesome. I loved that movie so much. Now, I don't know if I should go deep into the movie with spoilers, because some people might have know this already, because, well, it's hard not to talk about it, because the whole world is talking about Avengers Endgame, and talking about its spoilers and how it ended and all that. But I want to talk about what I love most about the movie, and that's all of it. There is not a single thing I found wrong with this movie. Well, minus a few things, but I'll get into that later. After watching Avengers Infinity War, which I also talked about in my 2018 year review, I didn't think anyone would be able to top that. But surprise, surprise, the Russo brothers were able to pull it off and give us an even more epic story that was even more epic than Infinity War. So, how the movie began with showing how the world went on after 5 years after the events of Thanos' snap, killing half of all life in the universe. It was pretty good. I mean, I feel like it could have been far worse than how it is, but it's still pretty perfect in my opinion. And what I didn't expect was for them to find Thanos from Infinity War straight away and then just straight up kill him. I was not expecting that because I was like, wait, but Thanos is meant to be the main villain of the movie, so how are they going to fight him? And then, well, the reason how they were able to fight him despite killing him is because they involved time travel. Yep. Avengers Endgame decided to use time travel in it, which I have no problem with. I love time travel. Time travel stories are one of my favourite types of stories ever, which is why I hope to do a time travel story in Chaos Man in the near future. Because apparently, Ant-Man was the reason the time travel technology came to be. Because, well, if you've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, you'll know that during the events of Infinity War, Ant-Man was trapped in the quantum realm, and he couldn't get out because the Hank Pym and the others who were about to get him out, ended up getting erased by Thanos' snap. And yet somehow he managed to get out of the quantum realm. But even though it's been 5 years, for him it's been 5 hours. So they experimented with Hank Pym's quantum realm technology and ended up using time travel. And seeing the Avengers go back in time and interact with the past Avengers films and Marvel movies, it was pretty cool to watch. And there were also some scenes in there that made me really emotional as well. Like that one scene where Tony met his dad at a younger age before Tony was born. That was a good scene. And the scene where Captain America went back into his original time before he got frozen in World War II and saw his lover, Penny Carter, again. That was pretty good. But the best moment of Avengers Endgame, which you all probably know, is the final battle, or with them all the heroes and Thanos' army, and they all, just a massive clash of superpower, and it's just so awesome. That final battle was the most epic thing ever in all of cinema history. And it's so awesome that people wanted Avengers Endgame to be number one number one movie in the world. And it is. It's now become the number one movie in the whole world. Everyone's talking about it. Even people who haven't seen the movie or aren't even into the MCU. It's just so hard not to talk about it. And again, it's probably hard to avoid spoilers for the movie as well because everyone is talking about it. So I'm probably going to be talking about it too. In case you haven't seen Avengers Endgame and you don't want to hear any spoilers, I suggest you skip forward to this point right here. Okay, those of you who have seen the movie and you want to hear my thoughts, here it is. The ending with Iron Man when he took the Infinity Stones and he snapped his fingers to erase Thanos and all of his minions, that was a pretty good scene. And him dying because of it, that was really sad. It was a sad moment, but I wasn't that upset by it compared to everyone else. And it's not because I don't care for Tony Stark, because I do, I really do. It was because I kind of saw it coming as well. Like, when Avengers Endgame came out and I saw the condition Tony Stark was in the beginning, with him being depressed over losing the battle and seeing those he loved be killed, it was pretty sad. And then seeing him moving on and having a child with Pepper Potts and all that, I felt like Tony wouldn't have much left because I remember in Infinity War when Thanos actually stabbed Tony with the blade, I actually thought he was going to die in that moment. But then I figured, yeah, they're probably building up for Tony to actually die at some point for real. And because the same was done in Avengers Age of Ultron when Tony had that vision of the events of Endgame, like the final battle. Oh, that was a pretty good scene. And I kind of knew what was going to happen with Iron Man, he was going to die. But I was still upset about it, don't get me wrong. But there was one other character's death that I didn't see coming and was surprised by. And that was the scene where Black Widow and Hawkeye were going to Vormir to get the Soul Stone, and one of them had to die so the other would get the stone. Just like in Infinity War when Thanos threw Gamora over the edge and managed to get the Soul Stone. It was kind of a sad and hilarious scene at the same time where Hawkeye and Black Widow were fighting over who should die so the other could get the stone. And it was like, no, I want to die, I'll get the stone. It's like, no, you have a family, I'll die. It's just, It's funny, but it's also sad at the same time. And seeing Black Widow get killed off, that was sad as well. Especially for the Hulk, considering, well, she and Hulk were a thing in Age of Ultron. I'm kind of disappointed they never expanded on that. Because after they reunited in Infinity War, they didn't really show much affection for one another. They were just like, oh, Hulk's back. Hi. He's like, hi, Natasha. You look good. It just doesn't fit. And it's kind of sad too, considering next year there's going to be a Black Widow movie coming up. Something fans like myself have been asking for some time now. Can't wait for that. And I also like how David Harbour, who plays Jim Hopper in Stranger Things, is going to be the villain in this movie. That's ought to be interesting. Okay, we're done with movies now. This video is like over 20 minutes long and I've only been talking about movies. We need to get into the video games now. As you all know, I played a lot of video games this year. The last one I played of this year was Attack on Titan 2, which didn't come out in 2019, but its DLC did, and it was because of it that I decided to play it, and it was a really good game, way better than the first one. I've already reviewed Attack on Titan 2 at the end of my Let's Play, because every time I finish a Let's Play, I always do a brief review about the game, so I won't go into too much detail about it. But if I had to pick what the best game was, which was a question someone asked me in my last Q&A, I'd have to go with Kingdom Hearts 3, because that was the game I was looking forward to playing the most, and I was waiting for the most. Because that game was announced back in 2018, 2017? I don't remember, it's been so long, and it took years for the game to come out. And when it was finally released, I was over the moon. I just couldn't wait to get the game and actually play it for myself. I was so excited to play it that I didn't even wait to play it as a Let's Play. I just went ahead and played it on my own with my friends. And it was fun. But I'm glad that Kingdom Hearts 3 featured a New Game Plus so that I could record it for you guys. Though part of me was scared to record the Let's Play because of the copyrighted Disney music. Like the Let It Go that was playing in the Frozen world. That kind of messed me up a bit. But in the end, I don't really care. I'm just glad you guys got to see Kingdom Hearts 3, even though you've probably watched other people play it before me. And 2019, although some of its games aren't fully released yet, it had released a couple trailers for new games that'll be coming out next year that I'm looking forward to. Like the remake for Resident Evil 3 with Nemesis. That's a game I'm looking forward to playing. I have played Resident Evil 2 on the channel, the remake, and I enjoyed that game a lot, even though I wasn't expecting to enjoy it. But I also enjoy Resident Evil 7 as well, which I've done in the past, and that was a fun game. So I definitely look forward to playing Resident Evil 3 in the future. And another game that I'm also looking forward to playing when it comes out is SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, the Rehydrated Edition. It's like a remaster of the original SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom game. Of all the games I was expecting to get a remake, that was one I was not expecting at all. But I definitely look forward to it when it comes out, because I love that game. I grew up playing that SpongeBob game, and I really can't wait to play it. I've already seen some footage of it, and the graphics look amazing compared to the original. Oh, it's going to make a great Let's Play for 2020, I can tell you that much. And another game I'm looking forward to playing at the beginning of 2020 is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I've already got the game for Christmas, and I definitely will be playing it for you guys. I was able to pre-order the game as well, so that means I get to have the orange lightsaber that comes with it, and I can't wait for that. I have seen gameplay footage and trailers of the game, and it definitely looks awesome. It kind of has like an open world type of feeling to it, kind of like Dark Souls, but it's in Star Wars. And the creators have confirmed that you can actually customize your lightsaber in this, and I'm glad they made that an option in the game. If they didn't, I would have been disappointed as hell. But I didn't go too much into the game without spoiling it for myself, because when I play the game for you guys on the channel, I want to go in blind and just immerse myself in the new story and just see where it takes us. Though there was something from the game that kind of spoiled the movie, A Rise of Skywalker, but it's not a big spoiler, so it's nothing to worry about. It relates to the Death Star-like planet in the Force Awakens Starkiller base. Let's just say the game really talks about its origins and how it was built during the game, which I will be getting to. Excuse me, which I will be getting to next year once I played the game. As for games I have played this year, other than Kingdom Hearts 3 and Attack on Titan 2, another game I can think of that I did enjoy playing was the Spyro trilogy, even though that came out in 2018. I didn't play until 2019. The Spyro trilogy was definitely a lot of fun. As a kid, I never got to play the original Spyro trilogy. Same with the original Crash trilogy. I've only played Spyro Year of the Dragonfly. Or Enter the Dragonfly, I meant, not Year of the Dragonfly. That was the only Spyro game I've ever played as a kid, and that wasn't a good Spyro game, like that compared to the new ones I played. But it was still pretty fun nonetheless, and I am glad I finally got to experience the original Spyro in better graphics and better controls. The game was definitely challenging, but it was fun nonetheless, and I'm glad I was able to 100% all three of them for you guys, so you got to see everything. Another game I played this year was Detroit Become Human, I think. I don't remember if I played it this year or 2018, but that was a good game as well. The story of it was pretty fun. Like, my favourite story out of the three characters is Connor's with and Clancy Brown as Hank. It was a good story. I think that's all I can say for video games right now. I don't want to go too much into video games because, well, I don't want to make this video over an hour long. I already dragged it on long enough with me talking about the movies I've seen. As for the things that happened to me personally in 2019, I think the best thing that ever happened to me in 2019 was me releasing my very first issue of Chaos Man to the world. Chaos Man was something I've been working on in my spare time for a long time now. For over 5 years I've been working on it. I started off doing it on my own. Like, I had this idea in my head and I just wanted to get it out of my head and put it on paper. But I had no way of, making an actual comic because I cannot draw. I can only write stories. And then when I went to my first Comic-Con for the first time in Bristol, I approached two guys. He's from Crown Root, which is like a comic public company. I approached them, told them about my ideas, and they agreed to help me make it a reality. And then, a year later, my first comic was released. Let me just get it out for you guys. Yep, this has become a reality. This is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me in 2019. I've already talked to you guys about this on my channel, and again, if you haven't read this comic yet, please go check it out. I'll leave the link to the website where you can download it in the description below, and it's completely free. You don't have to pay anything. It is a really good read. And already I'm working on the second chapter. I've already written the scripts and done the prototype. All I need to do now is wait for somebody, find someone who can draw it for me, because, well, the artist who drew this comic, he's left Crown Root now, which is a shame. He was pretty good. Hopefully I'll find someone even better than him. So that's something I hope to look forward to in 2020, where you guys get to see the second issue of Chaos Man. And I hope to one day turn it into an anime. That's something I've always dreamed of doing ever since I first came up with Chaos Man, to make it an anime for people to watch and enjoy. I always imagine it to have awesome battles and character stories and music and all of that stuff. And maybe one day, if the anime is a success, it might get a video game. And if that's a success, it might get a live-action movie. I sure do dream big. But I do have high hopes for the future of Chaos Man. And if you guys love it, then it's definitely going to be a good future. As for worse things that have happened to me in 2019... not much has happened other than, well, I've had some personal issues with family, which I won't go into detail about for my personal privacy. And last year, I talked about the death of my uncle and how it affected my family. Well, let's just say they haven't gotten over it, which is understandable because the death of a loved one isn't something you can get over just like that. It's people are still coping with it. I still am, but I'm learning to move forward and do well with my life. And I'm also hoping to do that for my channel as well. Because over the past couple months this year, I've been getting a lot of new subscribers. I've now reached over 228. And I want to thank you guys for that, for sticking with me and always watching my videos even now. I really appreciate that a lot from you guys. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for you. You guys give me the courage to continue making videos. And of all the times I've been experimenting with my channel, and I've been getting better and better as I go along. Like, my Let's Plays have better quality, I do better commentary in my videos, and I don't act nervous or shy away on camera anymore like I used to when I first began. I've definitely gotten a lot more confident in doing YouTube, and it's all thanks to you that confidence is boosting even further. I hope you all had a good 2019. I did, for the most part. It was definitely better than how 2018 was, and I look forward to seeing what 2020 has to offer as well. So what do you guys think? Did you guys have a good year? Tell me what you did this year in the comments below. I'm curious to hear what's been happening with you guys this year. Whether it's good or bad, or all of the above. I look forward to hearing your stories. And if you're new to my channel, please be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one. And please be sure to stick around, because when 2020 arrives, I will be back with an all-new Let's Play, which is going to be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, so look forward to that. You excited for the new year, Morgan? Yeah, they may all be the same to you, but they're not to me. But hey, there's one good thing about it. You get to stick around with me more, eh? Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, let me just. There you go. Well, like it or not, Morgan, you're stuck with me. I mean, you're not really in a position where you can just, well, go away, see? But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you've all had a great year and a great Christmas. If you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. And I will see you all next time.